Tonight, we begin with something peaceful. Congratulations, you've just discovered a moment of calm in this chaotic world. The good news is you're here for a relaxing journey. The less good news is you might fall asleep before the end. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. While the world settles into quiet, check in with our night watch. Which city are you in, and what hour is it? Forget the romanticized versions Hollywood shows you. Let's explore what daily life was truly like in a way that helps you drift off to sleep. You find yourself abruptly jolted awake, not by the gentle chime of a modern alarm, but by the harsh, unyielding reality of a new, unforgiving dawn. You are sprawled on a rough, unyielding straw mat. You are packed shoulder to shoulder with a dozen other silent, weary bodies. This is in a windowless, reeking room. It is deep beneath the opulent grandeur of a sprawling Roman villa. The air hangs heavy and thick. It is a suffocating blend of unwashed bodies, stale sweat, and the faint, cloying sweetness of last night's cheap wine. This wafts down from the master's lavish table above. It is a truly potent cocktail of discomfort. This cramped, unsanitary space is your designated dwelling. It is a stark testament to your status as mere property. You are not a person within this ancient world. Roman villas were magnificent. They often relegated their numerous slaves to squalid conditions. Basic human dignity was a luxury utterly unknown there. It was a concept as alien as a smartphone. You can almost taste the grit of the rough straw against your cheek. You feel the damp chill seeping from the stone floor. The pervasive, acrid scent of fear and resignation clings to every surface. It is a constant, unwelcome companion. The good news, if you can even call it that, is that you are indeed alive. You have survived another night in this brutal existence. The bad news, however, is that so are the fleas. They are currently enjoying a lavish banquet upon your threadbare, scratchy tunic. This is a constant, irritating reminder of your lowly place in the grand scheme of things. There is no memory foam mattress to cushion your weary bones. No central heating to ward off the pre-dawn chill. Certainly no indoor plumbing to offer even a semblance of comfort or privacy. This is a stark contrast to the modern conveniences you might take for granted. Your back creaks with a sound like an ancient, unoiled wooden door. It is a living tapestry of old, faded scars and fresh, throbbing aches. You slowly, painfully push yourself upright. There is no soft, inviting mattress to linger on. No steaming cup of morning coffee to anticipate. Absolutely no gentle alarm clock to ease you into the day. Instead, your ears are assaulted by the sharp, sudden crack of a whip against the wall just outside. It is a brutal, unmistakable reminder that your day has already begun. Like every other, it is a chilling symphony of servitude. You stumble out into the biting pre-dawn chill. Your muscles are stiff and protesting with every movement. Your eyes are still heavy with the phantom weight of sleep. There is no hot shower awaiting you here. No invigorating scrub with scented oils. Just a brutal splash of icy, communal water from a trough. This if you are fortunate enough to push your way close enough to reach it. Your teeth remain unbrushed. This is a concept almost alien in this world. You are acutely aware that your breath alone could fell a legionary at 20 paces. It is a truly unpleasant reality to face each morning. Talk about morning breath. It is a truly potent weapon in its own right, a silent testament to the lack of personal hygiene. Breakfast is a meager and unappetizing affair. It consists of a handful of stale, hard bread, perhaps accompanied by a small bowl of watery, flavorless gruel. It is just enough sustenance to keep your body moving, to fuel the relentless toil that awaits, but never, ever enough to truly feel full, leaving your stomach to growl a constant low lament throughout the long, arduous hours ahead. The gnawing emptiness becomes a familiar companion, a dull ache that settles deep within your core, a constant reminder of your place in this unforgiving world. As the first faint streaks of bruised purple begin to paint the eastern sky, you stand on the precipice of another day, another cycle of endless labor and profound indignity. There is no choice, no escape, only the stark, unyielding struggle for existence, a life utterly devoid of personal control, a profound philosophical reflection on the nature of freedom. You close your eyes for a fleeting moment. The images of the cramped, reeking room and the whip's sharp crack are already seared into your mind. It is a silent, desperate prayer for the strength to simply survive. You are herded out with the others, a silent, shuffling mass moving towards the fields or the workshops. This depends on your assigned fate for the day. The overseer is a burly figure with a perpetually scowling face and a heavy stick. He barks orders. His voice cuts through the morning mist like a rusty blade. There's no morning commute playlist, no podcast to distract you from the grim reality of your destination. Just the harsh commands and the rhythmic shuffle of weary feet. Every step you take is dictated, every action predetermined, a stark absence of the personal autonomy you might take for granted in another life. You are a cog in a vast, indifferent machine. Your existence is solely defined by the labor you can provide. Your very breath is a resource to be exploited. The concept of personal time or self-care is utterly alien. It is a cruel joke whispered on the wind, a stark contrast to the modern pursuit of well-being. The work itself is a relentless assault on your body, whether it's the back-breaking toil under the scorching sun in the fields, or the repetitive, mind-numbing tasks in a dusty workshop. Your hands, already calloused and scarred, will soon bear new wounds, each one a testament to the day's brutal demands. There's no ergonomic chair, no scheduled breaks, just the constant push to produce more, faster, a relentless rhythm that grinds away at your very essence. Yet, even in this crushing reality, your mind, a stubborn rebel, seeks tiny pockets of defiance, fleeting moments of internal escape. You might conjure a memory of a loved one, a distant homeland, or simply focus on the rhythmic swing of a tool, allowing your thoughts to drift beyond the immediate pain. This mental sanctuary is your only true possession, a freedom no master can ever truly seize, a quiet rebellion waged within the confines of your own skull. Imagine a life where your entire worth is measured by your output, where your comfort is irrelevant, your future is entirely in the hands of another. There's no career progression, no annual leave, no retirement plan. Just an endless horizon of servitude stretching before you. It's a stark contrast to the modern pursuit of purpose and personal growth, a chilling reflection on the value of human life. Here's the kicker. In this world, freedom isn't a birthright. It's an impossible dream, a whispered legend, a shimmering mirage on the horizon. You learn to find meaning not in grand aspirations, but in the simple act of enduring, in the shared glance of understanding with a fellow sufferer, in the quiet resilience of your own spirit. Survival itself becomes a profound philosophical statement, a testament to the unyielding human will. The good news: you're building character, one agonizing muscle ache at a time, a stoic strength forged in the crucible of suffering. The bad news: character doesn't pay the bills, nor does it mend a broken spirit, though it might just be enough to get you through this endless Roman day, a quiet triumph of the soul. You stumble out into the biting pre-dawn chill. Your eyes are still heavy with a sleep that offered no true rest, merely a brief, inadequate pause from the day's relentless exhaustion, not genuine rejuvenation. There is no hot shower awaiting you here, no invigorating cascade of warmth to awaken your weary senses. Instead, you face a brutal splash of icy water from a communal trough. You are fortunate if you can push your way close enough before the jostling crowd of other slaves. It is a daily baptism into discomfort. The shock of the frigid water against your skin is a harsh, immediate reminder of your stark reality, a jolt that momentarily clears the fog of sleep, but leaves a lingering chill deep within your bones. Your teeth, a forgotten luxury, remain stubbornly unbrushed. Your breath, a truly potent weapon, could easily fell a legionary at 20 paces. You silently ponder why such a simple invention as a toothbrush never materialized in this ancient world. It is a small irony in your brutal existence. Roman hygiene for slaves was minimal at best, often sharing facilities and lacking even the most basic amenities, leaving you with the rough feel of your tongue against unbrushed teeth in the damp, biting air. You quickly learn that personal comfort is a luxury you no longer possess, a distant, fading memory from a life that now feels like an ethereal, unattainable dream, a cruel whisper of what once was. After the bracing, unwelcome shock of the communal wash, you pull on the coarse, scratchy tunic that serves as your daily uniform. There are no fashion choices here, no soft fabrics or personal touches, just the rough wool or linen that marks you as property, a uniform of servitude. A meager ration of stale bread, perhaps a handful of olives or a thin gruel, is all that awaits your rumbling stomach. It's barely enough to quiet the gnawing emptiness, certainly not enough to fuel the back-breaking labor that looms, a constant low lament of your body's deprivation. The sun begins its slow, indifferent ascent, painting the eastern sky with hues of orange and purple, a beauty you barely register, your gaze fixed instead on the taskmasters. Their voices are already sharp with commands, cutting through the morning chill like a whip, a harsh soundtrack to the dawning day. You think of the modern world, of morning commutes filled with podcasts and coffee, of news feeds and comfortable routines. Here, your commute is a weary shuffle to the fields. Your news is the latest whim of your owner. Your coffee is the bitter taste of resignation. The air is thick with the unspoken dread of another day, a heavy blanket woven from sweat, dust, and fear, a palpable tension that settles deep within your soul. The good news? You've survived another dawn, another night of fitful sleep on a hard floor, a small victory in a life of constant struggle. The bad news? The day has only just begun. Survival is a constant, exhausting negotiation, a tightrope walk over an abyss of punishment, where every step is fraught with peril. You are a cog in a vast, unforgiving machine. Your individual pain and exhaustion are utterly irrelevant to its relentless turning. The sheer monotony is a torment in itself, a slow erosion of the spirit, as day after day the same tasks and commands wear you down, leaving you feeling hollowed out and weary. Here's the kicker. Even in this brutal existence, a strange form of resilience begins to take root, a stubborn refusal to be entirely consumed. You learn to find tiny moments of respite, a shared glance with another slave, a brief moment of shade, the fleeting taste of something sweet, small acts of defiance against the overwhelming darkness. Philosophically, you begin to question the very nature of freedom, of what it means to truly own oneself. Is it merely the absence of chains, or something deeper, an internal state that even the most oppressive conditions cannot entirely extinguish, a profound reflection on the human spirit? The emotional intensity of your days is a constant, low thrum beneath the surface of your forced composure. Fear is a cold knot in your stomach, exhaustion a leaden weight in your limbs. But beneath it all, a flicker of something else persists, a stubborn refusal to be entirely broken, a quiet assertion of your inner strength. The sensory details of your life are stark and immediate. The acrid smell of sweat and unwashed bodies, the earthy scent of the fields, the metallic tang of blood from a minor injury. The sounds are a cacophony of commands, the crack of whips, the low murmurs of other slaves, a constant reminder that there's no Netflix to escape into, no social media to distract you from the grim reality. You reflect on the passage of time, how it simultaneously drags and rushes by, days feeling like years, yet weeks blurring into months. The future is an abstract concept, a luxury you cannot afford to contemplate too deeply, as your focus remains on surviving the present, one agonizing breath at a time. Yet, even in this brutal landscape, human connection, however fragile, becomes a lifeline, a shared meal, a whispered joke. A moment of mutual understanding with another slave can be a powerful, albeit dangerous, balm for the soul, a fleeting glimpse of shared humanity. You are not just a body, a tool, a piece of property. You are a mind, a spirit, a collection of memories and hopes, however faint. In that realization, in the quiet defiance of your inner world, you find a strength that even the Roman Empire cannot entirely crush. This is the brutal reality, yes, but also the hidden resilience, a testament to the unyielding human spirit. You might be bound by chains, by the will of another, but your thoughts, your dreams remain stubbornly your own. This internal sanctuary, however small, is a territory no master can truly conquer, a silent rebellion waged within the confines of your own skull, a secret world of your own making. There's no self-care Sunday here, no mindfulness app to guide you through meditation. Your meditation is the rhythmic swing of the pickaxe. Your self-care, the desperate clinging to a shred of dignity in the face of dehumanization, a quiet act of defiance. The concept of future planning feels like a cruel joke, a luxury reserved for those who own their own time. Yet a tiny irrational spark of hope, a whisper of a different tomorrow, sometimes dares to ignite within you. A dangerous ember in the ashes of your present, a fragile promise of a life beyond servitude. The weight of the sky presses down, mirroring the weight on your shoulders, but you learn to carry it, one agonizing breath at a time. Each sunset is a small victory, another day survived, another step closer to an unknown, perhaps impossible end, a quiet triumph of endurance. Your stomach growls, a constant low lament that has become the relentless soundtrack to your existence, a hollow echo in the cavern of your being. This gnawing emptiness is a familiar companion, a dull ache that settles deep within your core, a brutal reminder of your place in this unforgiving world. You find yourself pushing through the jostling crowd, a silent, desperate scramble for the meager sustenance that awaits, a daily ritual of survival. Breakfast is a stark and unappetizing affair. It consists of a handful of stale bread, perhaps accompanied by a small bowl of watery, flavorless gruel, barely enough to quiet the insistent rumbling. There's no artisanal toast with avocado here, no perfectly brewed coffee to awaken your senses. Just yesterday's bread, perhaps even the day before, dry and crumbly against your tongue. The diet of Roman slaves was typically basic and monotonous, designed purely for sustenance rather than any semblance of nutrition or enjoyment, with grain, often in the form of bread or gruel, serving as the unvarying staple, a constant reminder of your deprivation. The hunger isn't just a physical void, it's a constant negotiation with your body, a silent battle fought every moment. You learn to ignore the insistent pangs, to compartmentalize the craving, but it never truly leaves you. This constant caloric deficit means your body runs on fumes, a machine perpetually on the verge of breakdown, yet forced to continue, a testament to its astonishing resilience. As dawn reluctantly pierces the smoky air, painting the sky in bruised purple and gray, a new dread stirs within you. The brief respite of night is over. The relentless demands of the day loom large. You know what awaits. Endless hours of back-breaking labor, whether in sun-baked fields, dusty workshops, or the cold, dangerous halls of a patrician villa, each a different flavor of suffering. Each day is a lottery of suffering, a cruel gamble on which torment your capricious master will bestow. The rough, splintered tools in your calloused hands, the biting dust coating your throat, the rhythmic clang of hammers or monotonous scrape of hose. These are the harsh symphonies of your servitude. Your muscles perpetually sore, scream in protest with every forced movement, a visceral reminder of the toll, a constant throbbing lament. There's no ergonomic office chair, no climate control, no gourmet salad and podcast. Just raw, unyielding physical exertion, from sun up to sun down, until your body feels like a hollowed-out shell. This isn't just work. It's an erasure of self, a systematic dismantling of your will, where your body becomes a disposable tool, a chilling reflection on human value. You are a cog in an indifferent machine, your humanity slowly ground away by its merciless gears, leaving only a shell. The exhaustion isn't just physical, it seeps into your soul, dulling your senses, blurring your thoughts. It's a weariness no sleep can cure, a deep-seated fatigue that becomes an intrinsic part of your essence, a constant companion. The good news? You're building an empire, the foundations of a civilization remembered for millennia. The bad news? You're not getting paid. Your name won't be etched on monuments. Your contribution will be forgotten. Here's the kicker. You're often building the very structures that symbolize your oppression, a profound irony in your brutal existence. Each day is a lottery of suffering, a cruel gamble on which torment your capricious master will bestow. The rough, splintered tools in your calloused hands, the biting dust coating your throat, the rhythmic clang of hammers or monotonous scrape of hoes. These are the harsh symphonies of your servitude. Your muscles perpetually sore, scream in protest with every forced movement, a visceral reminder of the toll, a constant throbbing lament. There's no ergonomic office chair, no climate control, no gourmet salad and podcast. Just raw, unyielding physical exertion, from sun up to sun down, until your body feels like a hollowed-out shell. This isn't just work. It's an erasure of self, a systematic dismantling of your will, where your body becomes a disposable tool, a chilling reflection on human value. You are a cog in an indifferent machine, your humanity slowly ground away by its merciless gears, leaving only a shell. The exhaustion isn't just physical, it seeps into your soul, dulling your senses, blurring your thoughts. It's a weariness no sleep can cure, a deep-seated fatigue that becomes an intrinsic part of your essence, a constant companion. The good news? You're building an empire, the foundations of a civilization remembered for millennia. The bad news? You're not getting paid. Your name won't be etched on monuments. Your contribution will be forgotten. Here's the kicker. You're often building the very structures that symbolize your oppression, a profound irony in your brutal existence. You are a cog in an indifferent machine, your humanity slowly ground away by its merciless gears, leaving only a shell. The exhaustion isn't just physical, it seeps into your soul, dulling your senses, blurring your thoughts. It's a weariness no sleep can cure, a deep-seated fatigue that becomes an intrinsic part of your essence, a constant companion. The good news? You're building an empire, the foundations of a civilization remembered for millennia. The bad news? You're not getting paid. Your name won't be etched on monuments. Your contribution will be forgotten. Here's the kicker. You're often building the very structures that symbolize your oppression, a profound irony in your brutal existence. Every command barked, every harsh word, every casual lash reinforces the brutal hierarchy, etching deeper your subjugation. You learn to anticipate, to obey without question, to become invisible, a silent shadow, lest you draw unwanted attention. The stench of unwashed bodies, stale sweat, and damp earth is a constant, suffocating cloak, marking you as one of the forgotten, a constant reminder of your place. The air is thick with the unspoken anxieties of those around you, a palpable tension that hums beneath forced compliance, a collective fear binding you. Hope, that most dangerous and fragile of emotions, becomes a flickering ember, carefully guarded, rarely allowed to blaze, for fear it will be extinguished by reality. Despair, however, is a constant, insidious presence, whispering temptations of surrender, a silent battle waged within your soul. There's no mental health day, no therapy session, no self-care Sunday. Just the relentless, soul-crushing grind, day after day, with only the faintest glimmer of an end in sight, if ever. Survival becomes an intricate art form, a delicate dance between defiance and submission, between holding on to a shred of self and outwardly conforming to dehumanizing demands, a quiet triumph of the spirit. Every small act of internal resistance, every fleeting thought of freedom, feels like a monumental, hard-won victory against overwhelming circumstances. This is the true cost of empire, etched not in grand stone or gleaming gold, but in the weary bones, calloused hands, and often broken spirits of those forced to build it. It is a silent testament to a life lived without freedom, without dignity, without the right to call your body your own. A chilling reflection on human suffering. The sun, a relentless Roman eye, begins its slow, indifferent ascent, already promising a day of scorching, unforgiving heat that will bake the very earth beneath your bare feet. Its first golden rays pierce the pre-dawn gloom, not with gentle warmth, but with a harsh, immediate intensity, signaling the start of another grueling cycle of labor. You feel the subtle shift in the air, a dry, dusty breath that whispers of the long, arduous hours stretching endlessly before you. A silent promise of sweat and toil. This is your alarm clock, a celestial beacon of impending exhaustion, far removed from any gentle chime or digital display. A brutal awakening. You find yourself already out in the vast, sprawling fields, long before the sun has fully cleared the distant, hazy hills. Your body a familiar silhouette against the pale, bruised sky. Your day begins with the rhythmic, monotonous swing of a heavy hoe, carving endless, precise rows into the unyielding earth, preparing the ground for the next season's wheat. The fine, gritty dust, disturbed by every swing, rises in choking clouds, coating your throat and lungs. A constant, irritating presence that makes every breath a conscious effort. There's no air conditioning here, no climate-controlled tractor cab, just the raw, unfiltered elements of the Roman countryside. A stark contrast to modern agriculture. The scorching Italian sun, now fully emerged, beats down upon your exposed skin with an almost physical weight. A burning caress that promises sunburn and dehydration. Sweat, a constant companion, stings your eyes, blurring your vision with its salty, acidic bite, forcing you to blink away the discomfort as you continue your relentless work. Your hands, a testament to countless days of similar labor, are a landscape of calluses and deep, painful cracks. Each one a small, aching monument to your unceasing toil. These are not the soft, manicured hands of a modern office worker, but the hardened tools of survival, shaped by necessity, a testament to your enduring strength. Agricultural slavery, you instinctively understand, was the very backbone of this sprawling empire. A widespread and brutal reality, particularly prevalent on the vast estates known as latifundia. You are but one of countless bodies, toiling in gang systems, a faceless part of a massive, dehumanizing machine, designed to feed the insatiable maw of Rome. Your individual pain, your personal exhaustion, is utterly irrelevant in the grand scheme of this relentless production. A stark truth etched into every aching muscle and every drop of sweat. A chilling reflection on human value. The gritty dust in your throat is a constant parching reminder of your thirst. A dry, earthy taste that clings stubbornly to your tongue, making you long for even a single cool sip of water. The burning sun on your skin feels like 1,000 tiny needles, a relentless assault that slowly saps your strength, leaving you feeling drained and vulnerable. The sting of sweat in your eyes is a sharp, momentary agony, a fleeting distraction from the deeper, more pervasive ache that permeates your entire being. A constant low thrum, a symphony of suffering. You grip the rough, splintered handle of the hoe, its coarse texture a familiar, almost comforting presence in your calloused hands, a tangible connection to the earth you are forced to tame. There's no ergonomic design here, no cushioned grip to ease the strain. Just the raw, unvarnished wood that digs into your palms with every powerful swing. There's no lunch break with a podcast, no quick scroll through social media, no moment of mental escape from the relentless rhythm of labor. Just the endless, repetitive motion, the earth turning beneath your feet, and the sun climbing higher in the sky. A relentless cycle of toil. Each swing of the hoe is a testament to sheer, unyielding endurance, a silent, desperate battle against the stubborn earth and your own rapidly fading strength, a profound act of will. You push through the burning in your muscles, the dull ache in your spine, the gnawing hunger in your gut, knowing that to falter is to invite the sharp, brutal sting of the overseer's lash. This is not merely work. It is a daily, visceral negotiation with your own limits, a constant test of your capacity to simply survive, one agonizing breath at a time, a quiet triumph of the human spirit. As the sun reaches its zenith, casting harsh, unforgiving shadows, you pause for a fleeting moment, wiping the sweat from your brow with a rough, calloused hand. You look out across the endless fields, a vast, shimmering expanse of green and brown. A profound philosophical reflection settles upon you. This relentless, soul-crushing grind, this systematic erasure of self, is the true cost of empire, etched not in grand monuments or gleaming gold, but in the weary bones and broken spirits of those forced to build it. You are a silent, anonymous architect of a civilization that will be remembered for millennia. Yet your name will never be spoken, your contribution never acknowledged, a chilling reflection on history. The weight of the sky presses down, mirroring the immense weight on your shoulders, but you learn to carry it, one agonizing breath at a time, finding a strange, grim resilience in the face of such overwhelming odds. Each sunset is a small, hard-won victory. Another day survived, another step closer to an unknown, perhaps impossible end. A testament to the stubborn, unyielding will to simply exist. You close your eyes for a brief moment, the images of the day swirling behind them. And in that fleeting darkness, you find a quiet, internal sanctuary, a territory no master can truly conquer, a secret world of your own making. The sun, a relentless Roman eye, continues its indifferent journey across the vast, bruised sky. But a far more immediate and chilling shadow falls over you, a silent, ever-present threat that tightens its grip around your weary spirit. This isn't the fleeting shade of a passing cloud, offering a momentary respite from the scorching heat, but the looming presence of the overseer, a figure whose very stillness radiates an unsettling power, a constant reminder of your precarious existence. You feel his gaze, a prickling sensation on the back of your neck, even when your eyes are fixed on the unyielding earth, knowing that every single movement is meticulously catalogued and judged. His silent scrutiny is a far more potent weapon than any spoken command, a psychological burden that weighs heavily on your already aching shoulders, demanding unwavering, ceaseless effort from dawn until dusk, a constant, suffocating pressure. His watchful eye misses absolutely nothing, scanning the endless rows of toiling bodies with an almost supernatural precision, seeking out any flicker of weakness or momentary lapse in your grueling, monotonous rhythm. A moment's pause, a faltering pace, or even a subtle shift in your posture, and the chilling threat of the lash hangs heavy in the sweltering air, a silent promise of swift and brutal correction that sends a shiver down your spine. You learn to anticipate his subtle movements, to instinctively push past the searing, fiery pain, to maintain the relentless, monotonous rhythm of your labor, even when your overworked muscles scream in desperate, agonizing protest. This constant, agonizing dance between sheer endurance and the ever-present threat of punishment becomes the grim choreography of your daily survival, a brutal ballet performed under the unforgiving Roman sun. Here's the kicker. These overseers, often known as vilici, were frequently slaves themselves. Elevated to a position of authority over their fellow bondsmen, creating a complex and often profoundly cruel dynamic within the hierarchy of servitude. Congratulations, you're being managed by someone who understands your suffering intimately, who has likely endured similar torments, yet is now compelled by their own precarious position to inflict it upon you. A twisted irony in this brutal system of control. They were granted this limited power, this grim privilege, to ensure maximum productivity for the master. And the whip, a simple yet terrifying instrument, was their primary tool for maintaining absolute, unquestioning discipline. Talk about a perverse career path, where your advancement is predicated on the subjugation of your own kind. A chilling testament to the dehumanizing nature of Roman slavery and its insidious ability to corrupt the human spirit. The heavy silence before a command, a pregnant pause that stretches tautly across the sun-baked fields, is often far more terrifying than any shouted order, filling the air with an unbearable, anticipatory dread that gnaws at your very soul. Then a sharp, sudden crack of the whip slices through the oppressive, humid heat in the distance. A visceral sound that reverberates deep within your weary bones. A stark, immediate reminder of the ever-present consequences of disobedience. You feel the burning sensation in your overworked muscles, a deep, persistent ache that radiates from your shoulders down to your fingertips, a constant, fiery companion throughout the endless, grueling hours of toil. This physical torment becomes a familiar landscape, a map of pain etched onto your very being, a testament to the relentless, crushing demands placed upon your body, day after agonizing day. You'd think that with all this intense motivation, all this constant threat and physical coercion, they might have eventually invented a slightly more sophisticated incentive program, perhaps a bonus system for exceeding quotas, or even a rudimentary Employee of the Month award for the most diligent slave. But no, just the whip, a timeless classic in the Roman management playbook, proving that some things, even in an empire that built magnificent aqueducts and colossal colosseums, remained stubbornly primitive in their approach to human motivation. Talk about a missed opportunity for some positive reinforcement, a chance to truly innovate in the burgeoning field of human resources. But alas, the Romans preferred their methods brutally simple and undeniably effective. Classic Rome, always prioritizing raw efficiency and absolute control over any semblance of employee satisfaction. A business model that certainly wouldn't fly in today's enlightened corporate landscape. Thank goodness. The sun beats down with an unyielding intensity, a colossal hammer on an anvil, relentlessly forging your spirit in the crucible of endless toil, shaping you with each agonizing, searing blow. Its scorching rays are not merely a source of discomfort, but a powerful elemental force, stripping away all pretense, all softness, leaving behind only the raw, unvarnished essence of your indomitable will to survive. You feel the heat penetrate deep into your bones, a fiery baptism that hardens your resolve, transforming your very being into something resilient and unyielding, capable of enduring unimaginable pressures and endless suffering. This relentless fiery embrace becomes a strange kind of purification, burning away everything but the stubborn, defiant spark of your inner self. A profound testament to the unyielding, enduring human spirit. As the long, arduous day finally begins its slow descent into the bruised twilight, and the overseer's shadow mercifully recedes, you find a fleeting moment of internal quietude amidst the lingering echoes of pain and profound exhaustion. You return to your cramped, reeking quarters, your body a symphony of aches and protests. But your mind, a stubborn rebel, seeks tiny pockets of defiance, small internal victories against the overwhelming tide of your dehumanizing circumstances. You close your eyes, the vivid images of the day swirling behind them, the relentless sun, the biting dust, the sharp crack of the whip, all slowly fading into the soft, comforting darkness of your inner world. In this brief, precious sanctuary of your own thoughts, you find a profound, quiet strength, a testament to the unyielding human spirit that even the most brutal empire cannot truly conquer, a silent promise of another day survived, another battle won within the confines of your own soul. Perhaps your fate, a capricious twist of the Roman gods, has led you away from the scorching fields and the biting dust, ushering you instead into the deceptive, gilded cage of a grand Roman villa. Here, the air is cooler, scented with exotic perfumes and the faint, lingering aroma of rich banquets, a stark contrast to the earthy stench of the agricultural estates you once knew. You find yourself amidst polished marble and vibrant frescoes, a world of superficial beauty that masks an equally brutal, albeit different, form of servitude, where the chains are often invisible but no less binding. This is not the freedom you crave, but merely a change of scenery for your unending toil, a subtle shift in the landscape of your oppression, a new stage for your silent struggle. Your day now begins not with the crack of a whip in the pre-dawn chill, but with the quiet, insistent summons to the atrium, where the morning light catches on countless bronze statues and ornate household items. You are handed a rough cloth and a pot of gritty polishing paste, your task to bring every metallic surface to a mirror-like sheen, reflecting the opulent world around you with flawless precision. Each intricate detail, every curve and crevice demands your meticulous attention, a silent testament to the master's wealth and your endless, repetitive labor. You polish bronze until your reflection stares back, a ghost of your former self, a fleeting, distorted image in the gleaming metal, a silent question in your eyes, a chilling reminder of your lost identity. Every surface must gleam with an almost impossible perfection, every ornament perfectly placed, a silent symphony of order that belies the chaos of your inner world. A single smudge, a misplaced item, or even the faintest hint of tarnish can trigger a cascade of swift and brutal consequences. A sharp reminder of your expendable status in this unforgiving environment. There's no good enough in this world of exacting standards. No room for error or human frailty. Only the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal. Your hands, though no longer calloused from the hoe, now ache with a different kind of strain. A dull, persistent throb from the endless circular motions. A new map of pain etched onto your very being. You instinctively understand that domestic slaves performed a wide variety of tasks within these sprawling Roman households, from the mundane chores of cleaning and cooking to the more specialized roles of tutoring the master's children or providing personal service. Your life, while perhaps less physically demanding than that of a field slave, is under constant, suffocating scrutiny. A perpetual performance for an unseen audience. There's no privacy, no moment truly your own, as every action, every breath is observed and judged by those who hold your fate in their hands. This is a different kind of prison, one built not of stone and iron, but of watchful eyes and unspoken expectations. A cage of gilded bars, a subtle form of psychological torment. The metallic scent of the polishing paste, a sharp, almost acrid aroma, fills your nostrils, mingling with the faint, sweet perfume of the mistress's chambers and the earthy smell of the villa's gardens. You feel the smooth, cool surface of the bronze beneath your fingertips, a fleeting moment of tactile pleasure quickly overshadowed by the relentless demand for perfection. The ache in your arms from endless rubbing spreads to your shoulders and back, a familiar companion that settles deep into your bones, a constant, low lament of your body's exhaustion. Your muscles, though not strained by heavy lifting, are taut with the tension of meticulous, unending effort. A silent protest against the monotony, a quiet rebellion of the flesh. The good news, if you can even call it that, is that you are indoors, shielded from the scorching sun and the biting winds that plague your counterparts in the fields. A small mercy in this relentless existence. The bad news, however, is that you are never truly alone, never truly free from scrutiny. Your every move a potential misstep in this intricate dance of servitude. A constant performance for an unseen, demanding audience. It's like reality TV, but with far higher stakes and absolutely no chance of winning a prize. Just the constant, gnawing fear of failure and the ever-present threat of punishment. Talk about a captive audience, where your entire existence is a performance for the amusement and convenience of others. A chilling thought that echoes in the quiet moments of your forced labor, leaving no corner of your life untouched by their gaze. You become a master of invisibility, a silent shadow gliding through the grand halls. Your presence acknowledged only when a task needs doing. Your voice rarely heard above a whisper. A ghost in the opulent machinery of the villa. You move with a practiced grace, anticipating needs before they are spoken, a silent observer of the master's moods and the mistress's whims, learning the intricate rhythms of this opulent yet suffocating world with an almost supernatural intuition. Unseen, unheard, yet always observing. You gather fragments of conversations, glimpses of power dynamics, and the subtle currents of Roman life, storing them away in the quiet sanctuary of your mind, a secret hoard of knowledge. This silent observation becomes a profound form of subtle rebellion, a way to reclaim a sliver of agency in a life utterly devoid of it. A secret world no master can ever truly penetrate. A testament to your enduring spirit. As the last rays of the setting sun paint the villa's walls in hues of orange and purple, casting long, dancing shadows across the polished floors, you finally retreat to your cramped communal sleeping quarters, the day's endless tasks momentarily complete. You lie on your rough straw mat, the lingering scent of bronze polish and expensive perfumes still clinging to your clothes, a strange, unsettling blend of your two disparate worlds, the opulent and the abject. Your body aches, a dull, persistent echo of the day's meticulous labor. But your mind, ever the rebel, sifts through the day's observations, finding a quiet strength in the knowledge you've secretly accumulated, a hidden power. You close your eyes, the vivid images of gleaming bronze and watchful eyes slowly fading, replaced by the profound comfort of your own internal world, a sanctuary where no master's gaze can ever reach, a place where your spirit remains defiantly, beautifully free, awaiting the dawn of another uncertain day. The quiet hum of the villa, a deceptive lullaby, is abruptly shattered by a voice, sharp and clear, echoing from the master's private chambers, a casual command that instantly dictates your every move. You find yourself summoned to carry heavy amphorae of cool fresh water from the distant well, the ceramic biting into your shoulder as you navigate the polished marble floors. Each step a careful calculation to avoid a catastrophic slip. Perhaps you are tasked with fanning your mistress in the sweltering midday heat, your arm aching with the monotonous rhythm, her languid gaze a constant unnerving presence that judges your every subtle motion. Or, with a sigh that only your weary soul can hear, you might be cleaning up after a drunken feast, the cloying smell of stale wine and sour vomit clinging to the air, a stark, unpleasant contrast to the exotic perfumes of earlier hours. Every single task, no matter how menial or grand, demands an almost impossible precision, each movement meticulously watched by unseen eyes, a constant suffocating pressure that never truly relents. A dropped plate, a misplaced scroll, even a momentary hesitation in your service can trigger a cascade of swift and brutal consequences, a chilling reminder of your utterly expendable status. For there's no HR department to mediate disputes, no employee handbook outlining your rights, no union representative to advocate for better working conditions in this ancient world. You are, quite simply, entirely at the mercy of your owners, their whims and moods dictating the very fabric of your existence, a stark reality that shifts with the unpredictable tides of their temperament. The persistent strain in your lower back from carrying countless heavy loads becomes a familiar, dull ache, a constant companion that settles deep into your bones, a testament to your unyielding physical burden. The stifling heat of the villa, trapped beneath the terracotta roof, presses down upon you, making every breath a conscious effort, every movement a struggle against the oppressive, humid air. And that cloying, sickly sweet smell of stale wine, mingled with the acrid tang of vomit and the lingering scent of rich, fatty foods, becomes an almost physical presence, coating your tongue and burning your nostrils. The good news? You're providing unparalleled service to the Roman elite. The bad news? There are no Yelp reviews for this particular establishment. No 5-star ratings for your impeccable silent obedience. Just the unspoken understanding that anything less than absolute perfection will be met with swift, undeniable repercussions. A chilling incentive for unwavering, silent compliance. Here's the kicker. You learn to anticipate their needs with an almost supernatural intuition, moving through the villa like a silent, efficient ghost, an extension of your master's will, your own desires long suppressed and buried deep within. Talk about a masterclass in emotional intelligence, where your survival depends on reading every subtle cue, every fleeting expression, becoming a living, breathing barometer of their unpredictable moods. Congratulations! You are now a finely tuned instrument of service. Your individuality slowly eroded, replaced by an almost perfect, unthinking efficiency. A profound transformation that leaves you wondering who you truly are beneath the veneer of servitude. You might catch a fleeting glimpse of your reflection in a polished bronze mirror, a stranger staring back, eyes hollowed by exhaustion, a ghost of the person you once were. And you wonder if anyone else sees it too. This isn't just physical labor. It's a constant, insidious assault on your very identity, a slow, deliberate erasure of your dreams and aspirations, leaving behind only the echoes of what could have been. The good news? You've become incredibly resilient, a master of emotional compartmentalization, able to detach your mind from the indignities your body endures. The bad news? This detachment comes at a cost. A growing chasm between your inner self and the compliant facade you present to the world, making genuine connection a distant, almost forgotten luxury. Every creak of a floorboard, every raised voice, sends a jolt of primal fear through you, a constant, low-level hum of anxiety that never truly dissipates, even in the fleeting moments of rest. You learn to interpret the subtle shifts in your master's tone, the slight tightening of his jaw, the way his eyes narrow. Knowing these tiny signals could herald a beating, a public humiliation, or worse, a sale to a harsher household. Here's the kicker. True freedom isn't just about physical movement. It's about the autonomy of your mind, the right to your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own future. And in this existence, even those internal sanctuaries are under siege, constantly monitored, constantly judged, constantly at risk of being invaded by the demands of another. A chilling reflection on mental liberty. Perhaps in the dead of night, when the villa is silent and the moon casts long shadows, you allow yourself a single defiant thought, a flicker of anger, a whisper of hope, a secret dream that no one can ever take from you. Or maybe you intentionally misplace a minor item, a tiny, almost imperceptible act of sabotage, a silent scream against the suffocating control, a small assertion of your remaining will. The days bleed into weeks, the weeks into months, and the relentless cycle of servitude grinds on, each sunrise bringing with it the same demands, the same expectations, the same crushing weight of your circumstances. You find yourself calculating the years, wondering if manumission is even a remote possibility, or if this endless toil is simply your predetermined fate, a cruel cosmic joke played out on the stage of your life. There's no sick day option, no mental health break, no employee assistance program to help you cope with the profound psychological burden of being owned, of having your very humanity denied. The emotional intensity of this existence is a constant simmering fire beneath the surface, threatening to erupt, yet always held in check by the iron grip of fear and the desperate need to survive another day. But then, a different kind of fate, a darker twist of the cosmic loom, pulls you away from the sun-drenched fields and the gilded cages of the villa, dragging you instead towards the earth's gaping maw. You are herded, a faceless part of a shuffling, silent procession, towards a jagged black opening in the mountainside, a wound in the very flesh of the earth itself, where the light of the world begins to fade behind you with each reluctant step. The air, once crisp and cool, grows heavy and thick with the gritty dust of pulverized rock, coating your tongue and burning your nostrils with its acrid tang, a chilling welcome to your new subterranean existence. The claustrophobia is a living thing down here, pressing in on you from all sides, stealing your breath and whispering ancient fears into the echoing darkness, a constant, suffocating presence that never truly relents. Here's the kicker. Imagine the mines, a brutal reality where Roman slavery often became a death sentence, a place with no take-your-child-to-work day, no safety briefings, certainly no ergonomic tools to ease your endless toil. You feel the sudden, damp chill of the mine air seeping into your threadbare tunic, the oppressive weight of the earth above you, a constant, terrifying reminder of your precarious position, while the echoing sounds of distant picks chip away at both stone and hope. Each step deeper into this subterranean labyrinth feels like a step further away from life, from the warmth of the sun, and from any lingering whisper of freedom, a descent into a despair so profound it threatens to consume your very soul. You grasp the heavy pickaxe, its cold, rough handle a stark contrast to the burning ache in your shoulders, a tool that feels less like an extension of your will and more like a cruel, unyielding master. Each swing is a testament to sheer, desperate will, a rhythmic clang against the unforgiving rock that reverberates through your bones, echoing the relentless pounding of your weary heart. There's no Employee of the Month award down here, just the grim satisfaction of another chunk of ore dislodged, a quiet triumph against the unyielding earth. The dust, a fine, insidious powder, settles on everything, coating your skin, clinging to your eyelashes, and filling your lungs with a slow, suffocating grit. You cough, a dry, rasping sound lost in the cacophony of picks and groans, a futile attempt to clear airways that feel perpetually clogged, a constant battle against your own failing strength, a silent lament of the body. Time loses all meaning in this perpetual twilight, a monotonous cycle of swing, chip, haul, and repeat, where the only markers are the changing of the guards and meager rations. The good news? You don't have to worry about what day it is. The bad news is every day is exactly the same, an endless loop of back-breaking labor, a chilling reflection on the passage of time. Your muscles scream in protest, a chorus of agony that becomes a constant, dull background hum, a testament to the relentless demands placed upon your body. Every joint aches, every tendon strains, and your hands are now calloused, cracked, and perpetually bleeding, a map of your suffering etched into your flesh, a brutal testament to your toil. The air is thick with the metallic tang of sweat and blood, the earthy smell of damp rock, and the faint, unsettling scent of fear. A primal cocktail that assaults your senses with every breath. You learn to ignore it, to push past the nausea, focusing only on the next swing. A strange kind of forced meditation to escape the crushing reality. A quiet act of mental defiance. You see the faces of your fellow slaves, gaunt and hollow-eyed, etched with a weariness that goes beyond physical exhaustion, a deep-seated spiritual fatigue. There are no smiles here, no laughter, only the occasional shared glance of understanding, a silent acknowledgement of mutual suffering that speaks volumes more than any words could, a fleeting connection in the darkness. The overseers, with their whips and harsh commands, are a constant looming threat, their shadows dancing menacingly in the flickering lamplight, their voices sharp and unforgiving. You learn to anticipate their moods, to move faster, to appear busier, to become invisible, anything to avoid the sting of the lash or the brutal kick, a desperate dance of survival. Sleep, when it finally comes, is a fitful, shallow thing, haunted by the echoes of picks and the phantom pains in your limbs, a brief respite that offers little true restoration. You dream of sunlight, of open spaces, of a life that feels impossibly distant, only to wake again to the suffocating darkness and the grim reality of another day, a cruel awakening. Your muscles scream in protest, a chorus of agony that becomes a constant dull background hum, a testament to the relentless demands placed upon your body. Every joint aches, every tendon strains, and your hands are now calloused, cracked, and perpetually bleeding, a map of your suffering etched into your flesh, a brutal testament to your toil. The air is thick with the metallic tang of sweat and blood, the earthy smell of damp rock, and the faint, unsettling scent of fear, a primal cocktail that assaults your senses with every breath. You learn to ignore it, to push past the nausea, focusing only on the next swing, a strange kind of forced meditation to escape the crushing reality, a quiet act of mental defiance. You see the faces of your fellow slaves, gaunt and hollow-eyed, etched with a weariness that goes beyond physical exhaustion, a deep-seated spiritual fatigue. There are no smiles here, no laughter, only the occasional shared glance of understanding, a silent acknowledgement of mutual suffering that speaks volumes more than any words could, a fleeting connection in the darkness. The overseers, with their whips and harsh commands, are a constant looming threat, their shadows dancing menacingly in the flickering lamplight, their voices sharp and unforgiving. You learn to anticipate their moods, to move faster, to appear busier, to become invisible, anything to avoid the sting of the lash or the brutal kick, a desperate dance of survival. Sleep, when it finally comes, is a fitful, shallow thing, haunted by the echoes of picks and the phantom pains in your limbs, a brief respite that offers little true restoration. You dream of sunlight, of open spaces, of a life that feels impossibly distant, only to wake again to the suffocating darkness and the grim reality of another day, a cruel awakening. Yet, even in this abyss, a flicker of defiance sometimes ignites, a tiny spark of rebellion in the depths of your soul, a refusal to be completely broken. It might be a deliberately slow swing of the pick, a stolen moment of rest, or a shared knowing glance with a fellow slave. Quiet, personal acts of resistance to reclaim a sliver of your humanity, a testament to your enduring spirit. So you continue, one swing after another, one breath after another, your existence reduced to the most basic struggle for survival, a testament to the incredible, terrifying resilience of the human spirit. You are a cog in a vast, brutal machine, extracting the earth's riches for an empire that sees you as nothing more than a tool, a disposable commodity. Yet you persist, a quiet triumph of the will. You find yourself plunged into the earth's cold, indifferent embrace, deep underground where the sun is a forgotten myth, and the air hangs heavy with the scent of damp rock and ancient, undisturbed minerals. The flickering, meager light of an oil lamp, clutched in your calloused hand, casts dancing, grotesque shadows on the rough-hewn walls, making the cavern feel alive with unseen, ancient spirits, whispering forgotten tales of those who came before. Each breath you take is shallow, tasting of dust and the metallic tang of fear, a constant, chilling reminder of the crushing weight of the mountain pressing down from above, threatening to swallow you whole. This is your new reality, a subterranean world of endless, brutal toil, where the only promise is the relentless rhythm of the pickaxe and the ever-present, suffocating threat of the dark, a chilling descent into despair. Your day, indistinguishable from the last, begins and ends with the brutal, monotonous task of chipping away at the unforgiving stone, hour after hour, agonizing hour, until your spine creaks like an old protesting wooden door. The sounds are a deafening symphony of despair, a constant jarring cacophony that drills into your very soul. The rhythmic chip, chip, chip of your pickaxe against the rock, the distant echoing shouts of overseers, and the ominous creak of timber supports groaning under the immense, unyielding pressure of the earth. These are the only melodies you know, a relentless, brutal soundtrack to your slow, deliberate erasure. Each strike a testament to your sheer, desperate will to simply survive another moment, another breath, another swing. A quiet rebellion of the body. There's no safety equipment here, no hard hats to protect your skull from falling debris, no reflective vests to make you visible in the perpetual gloom, just a threadbare tunic and a silent, desperate prayer. You won't find any union breaks, no designated lunch hours, no light at the end of this tunnel, literally. Only the endless, suffocating dark and the terrifying, gnawing hope that the ceiling won't collapse today. Talk about a workplace hazard assessment that would make modern OSHA inspectors have a complete and utter field day. A brutal reality where your life is worth less than the precious ore you are forced to extract. A chilling reflection on human value. The air is thick, a suffocating blanket of fine, insidious dust that coats your tongue, burns your nostrils, and settles deep within your lungs, making every cough a dry, rasping struggle that offers no relief. You feel the cold, hard rock against your skin, a constant, unyielding presence that chafes and scrapes, leaving a map of small cuts and abrasions on your perpetually grimy, calloused hands. This isn't just physical discomfort, it's a constant, low-level hum of primal fear. The terrifying, visceral knowledge that at any moment the earth could shift, swallowing you whole into its indifferent, crushing embrace. A fate worse than any lash, a constant, suffocating dread. The mining techniques employed here are as rudimentary as they are dangerous. A brutal testament to an empire that values profit over human life, pushing slaves to their absolute physical and mental limits. You witness fellow workers gaunt and hollow-eyed, collapsing from sheer exhaustion. their bodies quickly dragged away, replaced without a second thought. A chilling reminder of your own utterly expendable status. Cave-ins are not a rare occurrence, but a terrifying, ever-present possibility. A sudden, deafening roar, followed by the frantic scramble of those lucky enough to be spared. The poor air quality a slow, insidious poison that silently erodes your very being. A constant threat to your existence. There's no soothing podcast to distract you from the relentless monotony. No ergonomic chair to ease your aching back. No warm, comforting meal to look forward to at the end of this endless shift. Your mind, once filled with memories and dreams, now struggles to hold on to anything beyond the immediate task. A desperate attempt to escape the crushing psychological burden of this existence. Your mind, once filled with memories and dreams, now struggles to hold on to anything beyond the immediate task. A desperate attempt to escape the crushing psychological burden of this existence. You yearn for the simple luxury of silence. A moment where the constant clang and creak do not invade your thoughts. A quiet space where you can simply exist without the threat of the whip or the earth's indifferent rumble. A profound longing for peace. This work is a relentless, soul-crushing rhythm, a monotonous cycle of swing, chip, haul, and repeat, where the only markers of time are the changing of the guards and the meager rations that barely sustain your dwindling strength. It is a stark, brutal testament to the human capacity for both unimaginable cruelty and an equally astonishing, terrifying endurance. A silent battle waged deep within the Earth's unyielding core. You are a cog in a vast, brutal machine, extracting the Earth's riches for an empire that sees you as nothing more than a tool, a disposable commodity. Yet you persist, a testament to the unyielding spirit. As the flickering lamp casts its final weary glow on your dust-streaked face, you close your eyes, the images of the day swirling behind them, a kaleidoscope of dust, darkness, and desperate, unceasing effort. There's no soft bed, no comforting blanket, no gentle lullaby to ease your aching body into slumber. Just the hard, cold ground and the distant, haunting echoes of the mine. Yet, even in this profound abyss, a tiny, stubborn spark of defiance sometimes ignites within your spirit. A refusal to be completely broken. A silent assertion of the freedom that no master can ever truly extinguish. You cling to this internal sanctuary, this secret world of your own thoughts, knowing that while your body may be enslaved, your mind, for now, remains your own. A precious, unyielding flame in the overwhelming, indifferent dark. Disobedience, a moment of hesitation, or even a sullen, downcast look can earn you a swift, brutal flogging in this unforgiving world. A stark reminder of your precarious existence. The overseer's eyes, sharp as obsidian shards, miss nothing in the dim, dust-choked air of the mine, constantly searching for any sign of weakness, any faltering of your relentless pace. You learn quickly that even the slightest deviation from the brutal rhythm of toil is met with immediate, painful consequences, etched onto your very flesh. This isn't a suggestion for improvement. It's a violent, undeniable assertion of absolute power, designed to crush any flicker of independent thought. Your body, already a canvas of old scars, instinctively braces for the familiar, searing impact. A grim acceptance of the inevitable, a silent prayer for it to be over quickly. The sting of the whip is a familiar fire across your back, a lesson etched in pain, burning deep into your memory with each agonizing strike. You learn to suppress your emotions, to keep your gaze down, to move with a practiced efficiency that belies the turmoil within your weary, aching spirit. Every movement becomes a calculated act of survival, a silent dance between obedience and the desperate need to preserve a sliver of your inner self. Your face, a mask of impassive endurance, reveals nothing of the simmering resentment or the quiet, unyielding strength that grows within you. This constant vigilance, this forced emotional detachment, becomes your shield against the relentless psychological assault of your daily existence, a necessary art of survival. Corporal punishment was a common and accepted practice for Roman slaves, a brutal cornerstone of their entire social and economic system. Floggings were not merely acts of cruelty, but calculated tools, used to enforce discipline, deter any nascent thoughts of resistance, and maintain absolute control over countless human lives. This systematic application of pain served as a chilling public spectacle, a constant reminder to all of the dire consequences of disobedience. It was a stark, undeniable truth. Your body was not your own, but a tool to be managed, broken, and exploited for the empire's insatiable demands. The very fabric of Roman society was woven with these threads of enforced suffering, a dark undercurrent beneath the grandeur, a silent testament to their power. The sharp, burning pain of the lash explodes across your skin, a sudden searing agony that steals your breath and momentarily blinds your vision. You gasp, a ragged, involuntary sound lost in the echoing cavern. As the raw, fiery sensation spreads like wildfire across your already bruised and battered back, a lingering ache settles deep into your bones, a dull, throbbing reminder of the recent violence, a constant companion that never truly fades. The metallic tang of your own fear, sharp and acrid, fills your mouth, mingling with the ever-present dust and the coppery scent of fresh blood. This visceral assault on your senses is designed to break you, to reduce you to nothing more than a compliant, terrified shell, a mere extension of their will, a chilling act of dehumanization. Here's the kicker. From the perspective of your Roman masters, this was a very effective management technique, a highly efficient system for ensuring maximum productivity. If your primary goal is to break spirits and instill terror, to extract every last ounce of labor from a human being, then it certainly earns 5 stars for efficiency. However, if you were to ask for employee satisfaction ratings, or perhaps a review of workplace morale, the results would undoubtedly plummet to a resounding 0. Talk about a performance review with immediate, undeniable feedback. A brutal system that prioritizes output above all else, with no room for negotiation. Congratulations! You're part of a highly optimized, albeit utterly dehumanizing, ancient corporate structure, a cog in their relentless machine. The pain is a constant reminder, a brand on your soul, a searing mark that never truly disappears, even in the fleeting moments of rest. Yet, paradoxically, it also hardens you, forging a resilience you never knew you possessed, a quiet, unyielding strength deep within your spirit. Each strike, each ache, each moment of fear, instead of breaking you completely, seems to temper your resolve, sharpening your will to survive. You become a vessel of quiet endurance, a testament to the human spirit's astonishing capacity to adapt and persist, even under the most brutal conditions. This internal fortitude, this unshakable core, becomes your secret weapon, a sanctuary no whip can ever truly touch or diminish, a freedom they can never steal, a quiet triumph of the soul. As the echoes of the day's brutality slowly fade into the oppressive silence of the mine, you find a small, cold patch of rock to rest your weary body. The flickering oil lamp casts long, dancing shadows, transforming the cavern walls into a canvas of your own turbulent thoughts and unspoken defiance. You close your eyes, not to sleep immediately, but to retreat into that secret world within your mind, a place where the lash holds no power and your spirit remains untamed. The rhythmic drip of water from a distant fissure becomes a slow, hypnotic cadence, a natural lullaby in this unnatural darkness, guiding your consciousness inward. Here, in this profound internal sanctuary, you find a fragile peace, a quiet assertion of self that no empire, no master, no amount of pain can ever truly conquer or erase, a freedom they can never steal. You realize that true freedom isn't found in physical escape, but in the unyielding fortress of your own thoughts, a mental space where their chains cannot reach. This inner rebellion, silent and unseen, is perhaps the most potent form of resistance you possess, a quiet defiance against a world determined to own every part of you. The good news? You've mastered the art of mental escapism, a skill far more valuable than any Roman coin. The bad news? Your physical reality still involves waking up to the same back-breaking labor and the ever-present threat of the whip, a stark contrast to any modern work-life balance. Here's the kicker. In this crucible of suffering, a strange clarity emerges, a profound understanding of what truly matters beyond fleeting comforts. You learn to cherish the simplest things, a moment of quiet, a shared glance of understanding, the brief respite of sleep, a testament to the human spirit's astonishing capacity to adapt and persist, even under the most brutal conditions. But even in this brutal reality, where every breath feels like a stolen luxury and every movement is meticulously scrutinized, there are hidden rebellions, quiet acts of defiance that ripple beneath the surface of your forced submission. You learn to navigate this treacherous landscape with a cunning born of desperation, finding tiny cracks in the edifice of control, moments where your spirit can briefly, fiercely assert itself against the overwhelming darkness. These aren't grand, sweeping gestures of revolt, but rather subtle, almost imperceptible acts, a silent language understood only by those who share your chains, a quiet assertion of humanity. Your day, a relentless cycle of toil and fear, becomes punctuated by these small, subversive victories, each one a precious assertion of your dwindling humanity. Perhaps a tool is accidentally broken, a crucial piece of equipment rendered temporarily useless, buying a few precious moments of respite from the back-breaking labor, a tiny wrench thrown into the master's perfectly oiled machine. Or maybe it's a whispered word of defiance, a shared glance of knowing solidarity with a fellow slave, a fleeting connection that acknowledges your shared suffering and ignites a spark of hope in the suffocating gloom. You might even steal a moment of rest, hidden behind a towering stack of amphorae, the cool ceramic a brief comfort against your aching back, a precious second of stillness in a world that demands constant motion, a quiet act of rebellion. Historically, while large-scale uprisings like Spartacus's rebellion were incredibly rare and often met with brutal suppression, these daily, quiet acts of resistance were far more common. A constant, low-level hum of insubordination. Slaves would subtly sabotage equipment, feign illness with a convincing cough and a vacant stare, or simply work at a deliberately slow pace, stretching out tasks to reclaim a sliver of their time and energy. These were not acts of overt rebellion, but rather a persistent, almost invisible war of attrition against a system designed to extract every ounce of your being. A silent refusal to be completely consumed, a testament to the enduring human spirit. The thrill of a small act of defiance, a tiny spark of rebellion, sends a jolt through your weary body. A fleeting surge of adrenaline that momentarily eclipses the constant ache in your muscles. You cast a quick, furtive glance over your shoulder, your heart pounding a silent rhythm against your ribs, ensuring no overseer's sharp eyes have witnessed your transgression. Your breath held tight in your chest. The shared knowing look with another slave, a flicker of understanding in their hollow eyes, is a powerful, unspoken bond. A brief moment of shared humanity that transcends the brutal reality of your existence. This stolen moment of hidden rest, the cool, damp earth against your skin, offers a brief, almost luxurious respite, a precious second of peace in a world devoid of comfort. A quiet triumph of the soul. It's not exactly a union strike, with collective bargaining and demands for better working conditions. But hey, you work with what you've got in this unforgiving ancient world. There's no HR department to file a grievance, no employee handbook outlining your rights, no sick day option. Just the relentless rhythm of the whip and the ever-present threat of starvation. Every little bit helps, every tiny act of subversion, a small victory against the crushing weight of your servitude, a way to reclaim a sliver of your dignity in a system designed to strip you of it entirely. Talk about a performance review with immediate, undeniable feedback. A brutal system that prioritizes output above all else, with no room for negotiation. These tiny acts are not about achieving freedom, not yet, for that remains a distant, almost mythical dream, a whisper on the wind that rarely reaches your ears. Instead, they are about preserving the last vestiges of self. A quiet refusal to be utterly consumed by the dehumanizing machinery of Roman slavery. A desperate attempt to maintain a fragile sense of identity. They are a testament to the unyielding spirit. A silent observation that becomes a profound form of subtle rebellion. A secret world no master can ever truly penetrate. A flicker of anger, a whisper of hope, a secret dream, a quiet assertion of your inner self. You realize that true freedom isn't found in physical escape, but in the unyielding fortress of your own thoughts, a mental space where their chains cannot reach, where the whip holds no power. This inner rebellion, silent and unseen, is perhaps the most potent form of resistance you possess. A quiet defiance against a world determined to own every part of you. The good news, you've mastered the art of mental escapism, a skill far more valuable than any Roman coin. The bad news, your physical reality still involves waking up to the same back-breaking labor and the ever-present threat of the whip. A stark contrast to any modern work-life balance. Here's the kicker. In this crucible of suffering, a strange clarity emerges, a profound understanding of what truly matters beyond fleeting comforts. You learn to cherish the simplest things: a moment of quiet, a shared glance of understanding, the brief respite of sleep, a testament to the human spirit's astonishing capacity to adapt and persist, even under the most brutal conditions. This resilience isn't a choice. It's a primal scream of existence, a stubborn refusal to let your inner light be extinguished by the relentless darkness. You find a strange strength in the very act of enduring, a quiet power that no master can ever truly conquer, a silent defiance that echoes in the chambers of your own heart, a profound assertion of your being. The good news? Your spirit, though battered, remains unbroken, a testament to the indomitable will to survive. The bad news? The Roman Empire still doesn't care about your feelings, and your next meal is still a mystery, a stark reminder that existential triumph doesn't pay the bills, a chilling reflection on the realities of life. Here's the kicker. In this constant struggle, you discover a profound truth, that even when everything is taken from you, the power to choose your internal response, to guard the sanctity of your own mind, remains yours alone. It's a freedom more profound than any physical liberation, a secret garden where your true self can still bloom, even amidst the barren landscape of your servitude, a quiet triumph of the soul. You remember the day you became a slave, or perhaps you were simply born into it, a fate sealed before your first breath, a destiny woven into the very fabric of your existence. The precise moment of transition, whether a sudden, brutal capture or a slow, dawning realization, remains etched into the deepest corners of your memory, a constant, unwelcome companion. It is a day that forever divided your life into a before and an after, a stark line drawn in the sand of your personal history, marking the end of any semblance of true autonomy, a chilling reflection on lost freedom. The slave market was a cacophony of shouts and desperate pleas, a swirling vortex of human misery and cold, calculating commerce, assaulting every one of your senses. The air hung heavy with the smell of fear, thick and metallic, mingling with the pungent odor of unwashed bodies and the acrid tang of nervous sweat, creating a truly unforgettable stench. You found yourself amidst a throng of bewildered, terrified faces, each reflecting a similar, profound despair, a shared understanding of the bleak future stretching before you. This bustling marketplace, a vibrant hub of Roman life, was for you a chilling gateway to an existence defined by ownership, a public spectacle of human degradation. You were poked and prodded with callous indifference, your limbs examined for strength, your teeth bared and inspected like a horse, every inch of your being reduced to a mere inventory of physical attributes. The rough hands of the auctioneer, calloused and impersonal, gripped your jaw, forcing your mouth open for inspection, a deeply humiliating act that stripped away any remaining shred of dignity. Your worth, once perhaps measured in dreams and aspirations, was now coldly assessed by the glint in a potential buyer's eye, a price tag affixed to your very soul, a commodity to be bartered and sold, a chilling reflection on human value. Slaves were acquired through a myriad of brutal pathways, a testament to the Roman Empire's insatiable demand for human labor and its ruthless expansionist policies. Many, like yourself, were the unfortunate spoils of war, captured in distant lands and dragged across vast oceans, their homes and families shattered by the relentless march of legions. Others fell victim to the predatory grasp of pirates, snatched from coastal villages and thrust into a life of servitude. their freedom extinguished in a single terrifying raid. Debt, too, was a cruel master, forcing desperate individuals to sell themselves or their children into bondage, a desperate gamble against the crushing weight of poverty. And then there were those, perhaps the most tragic of all, who were simply born into it, inheriting the chains of their parents, their fate sealed before they ever drew a conscious breath. A chilling reflection on destiny. Slave markets, bustling and brutal, were common throughout the vast expanse of the Roman Empire, from the grand forums of Rome itself to the dusty provincial towns, a stark and undeniable feature of daily life. Here, individuals, once free and sovereign, were openly bought and sold like livestock, their lives irrevocably altered by the whims of strangers and the cold calculus of supply and demand. These marketplaces, vibrant centers of commerce for some, were for others the very embodiment of despair. A public spectacle of human degradation where futures were decided with a nod and a clink of coins. The sheer scale of this human trade was staggering, a constant visible reminder of the empire's reliance on forced labor, a chilling reflection on history. The rough hands of the auctioneer, indifferent to your silent terror, pushed you forward onto the raised platform, a stage for your public humiliation, a stark spotlight on your utter powerlessness. The murmurs of the crowd, a low, guttural hum of appraisal and speculation, washed over you. Each whispered word a tiny barb piercing your already fragile composure, stripping away your sense of self. You felt the cold, hard stone beneath your bare feet, an unyielding surface that offered no comfort, no escape, a tangible symbol of your new, unshakable reality. This feeling of utter dehumanization, of being reduced to a mere object, was a crushing weight, heavier than any physical chain, a profound assault on your very being. Your bare feet, accustomed to the soft earth of your homeland, now felt the biting chill of the Roman cobblestones, a stark and unwelcome contrast, a constant reminder of your displacement. The cold, indifferent stone seemed to seep into your very bones, a physical manifestation of the emotional numbness that threatened to consume you, a desperate attempt to shield your heart from the overwhelming pain. Every texture, every sensation, every sound in this new, terrifying world served as a brutal confirmation of your changed status, a constant, unwelcome echo of your lost freedom. You were no longer a person, but property, a living tool in the hands of another, a chilling reflection on identity. Here's the kicker. There's no return policy here, no customer service desk to address your grievances, no option for a refund if you don't quite fit the master's expectations. Once you're bought, you're bought. A permanent transaction with no possibility of exchange or complaint. A stark contrast to the modern consumer's endless choices. Buyer beware, indeed. For the master takes on a living, breathing investment, a human being with thoughts and feelings, however suppressed, a complex piece of property that can never truly be owned. Talk about a lifetime commitment with absolutely no escape clause, a contract written in blood and tears, with no legal recourse. A chilling reflection on the nature of ownership. The memory of that day, or perhaps the dawning realization of your birthright, remains a deep, unhealing scar. a constant, throbbing reminder of the moment your life ceased to be your own, a wound that never truly closes. It is a silent testament to the brutal efficiency of a system designed to strip away identity, to erase individuality, leaving behind only a compliant shell. This indelible mark, this profound loss of self, becomes a constant companion, a shadow that follows you through every waking moment, a quiet lament for the person you once were, or perhaps the person you were never allowed to become, a chilling reflection on destiny. Not all chains are forged the same, and you quickly learn that the brutal reality of Roman slavery is far from monolithic, a complex tapestry woven with threads of subtle privilege and profound despair. You observe a strange, unspoken hierarchy among the enslaved, a pecking order enforced not by law, but by the master's whim and the cruel calculus of utility. It's like a corporate ladder, but instead of promotions, you just get slightly less terrible treatment. A grim form of progress in a world devoid of true advancement. A chilling reflection on social stratification. Your days are now spent navigating this intricate social landscape, where the crisp rustle of a Greek Tudor scroll signifies a different kind of bondage than the clang of a blacksmith slave's hammer. You see the subtle deference shown to a trusted household manager, their movements precise and their words carefully chosen, a stark contrast to the rough, sun-baked hands of those toiling in the fields. Even among the unfree, humanity finds ways to stratify, to create small pockets of power and despair, a bitter taste of envy often mingling with the dust in your mouth, a chilling reflection on human nature. You watch the educated Greek tutor, his eyes still holding the light of knowledge, moving through the villa's library with a quiet dignity, his mind a treasure trove of philosophy and rhetoric. His chains are intellectual, binding him to the master's children, but his body remains largely unscarred, his days spent in the relative calm of parchment and ink. There's no memory foam, no central heating, no indoor plumbing, but at least he's not breaking his back under the relentless sun. A small mercy in this unforgiving existence. A chilling reflection on relative privilege. Then there's the skilled artisan, perhaps a potter or a metal worker, whose hands, though calloused, create objects of beauty and function for the master's household. The rhythmic clang of his hammer against metal, or the soft, yielding clay beneath his fingers, speaks of a different kind of labor, one that requires precision and a certain degree of respect. He might even have his own small workshop, a space where his talent is valued, a stark contrast to the endless, anonymous toil of the quarry slaves. The good news? Your craftsmanship is appreciated. The bad news? You still don't get paid. A chilling reflection on the value of labor. The household manager, often a trusted and older slave, moves with an air of quiet authority, overseeing the domestic staff, ensuring the smooth running of the master's sprawling estate. Their power is delegated, a reflection of the master's own, and they often wield it with a stern hand, lording it over those beneath them, a chilling echo of the oppression they themselves endure. You see the subtle deference shown to them by other slaves, a grudging respect born of fear and the hope of avoiding their wrath. A stark reminder that power corrupts, even in bondage. A chilling reflection on human nature. Here's the kicker. These privileged slaves, while spared the most brutal physical labor, are still property. Their lives dictated by the whims of their owners, their freedom an illusion. They might eat slightly better, sleep on a less damp floor, or wear tunics that aren't entirely threadbare. But the fundamental truth remains. They are owned. Their intellectual prowess or skilled hands are merely assets to be exploited. Their humanity still denied. A gilded cage is still a cage, no matter how shiny the bars. A chilling reflection on the nature of freedom. You realize that this internal stratification, this pecking order within the ranks of the enslaved, is a cruel masterstroke of the Roman system, a way to divide and conquer, to prevent true solidarity from forming. It fosters resentment and envy, turning those who share a common fate against each other, distracting them from the true source of their oppression. Talk about a psychological warfare campaign, designed to keep everyone in their place, even when that place is at the very bottom. A chilling reflection on power dynamics. The bitter taste of envy rises in your throat as you watch a domestic slave receive a slightly larger portion of gruel, or hear the relatively gentle tone of a master addressing his trusted scribe. It's a fleeting, ugly emotion, quickly suppressed, for you know that their privileges are precarious, easily revoked, and ultimately meaningless in the face of their fundamental unfreedom. Their slightly softer chains are still chains, binding them just as surely as the heavy iron on a mine slave. A chilling reflection on the illusion of freedom. As the day draws to a close and the last sliver of sun dips below the horizon, casting long, distorted shadows across the villa, you return to your cramped, reeking quarters. The air is thick with the smell of unwashed bodies and stale sweat, a familiar symphony of despair. You lie on your straw mat, your back aching, your mind replaying the day's observations, the subtle distinctions, the unspoken rules of this brutal hierarchy, a chilling reflection on social order. You ponder the psychological burden carried by those favored few. Their slightly better conditions come with a heavy price. The constant anxiety of displeasing the master, the fear of being cast back into the fields, or worse. It's a tightrope walk over an abyss, a silent terror that gnaws at their souls, a chilling reflection on the cost of perceived privilege. This intricate system, you realize, is no accident. It's a deliberate strategy by your captors to keep the enslaved population fractured, focused on internal squabbles rather than unified resistance. Divide and conquer, a timeless tactic, proving just as effective in ancient Rome as it is in any modern power dynamic. Here's the kicker. As sleep finally claims you, you carry the weight of this understanding. The chains may be invisible for some, forged of expectation and fear rather than iron, but they bind just as tightly, perhaps even more so. It's a chilling testament to humanity's capacity for both cruelty and adaptation, a profound philosophical reflection. Sometimes a slave might earn their freedom, a concept whispered in hushed tones among the enslaved, a distant echo of a life beyond the chains that bind you. This elusive state, known as manumission, represents the ultimate, almost mythical prize in your brutal existence, a beacon of hope flickering faintly in the vast oppressive darkness. You hear tales of it, stories passed down like precious heirlooms, of those who somehow transcended their servitude, stepping into a world where their will, for the first time, truly belonged to them. It is a rare, precious gift, often bought with years of loyal service, unwavering obedience, Or perhaps even a substantial sum of money painstakingly saved over decades of relentless, soul-crushing toil. A chilling reflection on the price of liberty. You've seen it happen. A fellow slave, perhaps an older, trusted household manager, granted their freedom by a master's decree. A moment of pure, unadulterated joy that momentarily illuminates the grim reality of your shared existence. The hopeful glint in their eyes, a mixture of disbelief and profound relief, is a sight you will never forget. A fleeting glimpse of what it truly means to own oneself. The quiet murmur of gossip about a manumitted slave spreads like wildfire through the cramped, reeking quarters. A bittersweet symphony of envy and aspiration, reminding everyone of the impossible odds. But for most, including you, it remains a distant dream, a whisper on the wind, a lottery ticket you'll likely never win, despite the endless, grinding effort you pour into each day. A chilling reflection on fate. Historically, manumission was indeed possible within the intricate, often brutal web of Roman society. A complex legal and social process that offered a narrow, treacherous path to liberation, though never true equality. Owners might grant freedom for various reasons: a reward for exceptional loyalty, payment for services rendered, a strategic move to secure future patronage, or even as a gesture stipulated in a will. These newly freed individuals, known as liberti, gained certain legal rights, a significant step up from their former status as mere property. Yet they still carried profound obligations to their former masters, a lingering shadow of their past servitude. They were not entirely free, but rather bound by new, less visible chains of patronage and expectation, a different kind of cage, a chilling reflection on the nature of freedom.
Here's the kicker. It's the Roman equivalent of winning the lottery, except you have to work for decades, enduring unimaginable hardships and constant degradation, your body breaking down under the strain. Then your boss, the master, decides if you even get to play, let alone win the grand prize. There's no guaranteed payout for your suffering, no automatic reward for your unwavering dedication. Just the arbitrary decision of another human being who holds absolute, unquestionable power over your very breath. Talk about a performance review with the highest possible stakes, where your entire future hinges on a whim, a mood, or a cold economic calculation entirely beyond your control. A chilling reflection on human agency. The heavy weight of your own unlikelihood presses down on you, a constant, suffocating presence that dampens the fleeting spark of hope ignited by another's fortune, threatening to extinguish it completely. You hear the quiet murmur of gossip about a manumitted slave, their name spoken with a mixture of awe and a deep, aching longing, a stark reminder of the vast, unbridgeable chasm between their fate and yours. The hopeful glint in a fellow slave's eye when they dare to dream of such a future is quickly extinguished by the harsh realities of the day, the relentless demands, the ever-present threat of the whip. Every sunrise brings another day of toil, another day where the dream of freedom feels further away, a shimmering mirage just beyond your reach in the scorching, unforgiving Roman sun, a chilling reflection on hope. You ponder the sheer audacity of such a dream, the courage it takes to even conceive of a life where your body and mind are truly your own, where every decision isn't filtered through the lens of another's command. It's a dangerous thought, a seed of rebellion that, if nurtured, could lead to swift and brutal consequences. Yet it persists, a stubborn weed pushing through the cracks in your despair. The scent of damp earth and stale sweat in your cramped sleeping quarters seems to amplify this internal struggle. The contrast between your physical confinement and the boundless yearning of your spirit. A chilling reflection on the human condition.
This thought of freedom, this tantalizing possibility, is a fragile ember, easily extinguished by the harsh winds of reality, by the sharp crack of the overseer's whip, or the gnawing ache in your perpetually hungry stomach. Yet, despite the overwhelming odds, it persists, a tiny spark in the darkness of your soul, a stubborn refusal to completely surrender your inner spirit to the crushing weight of your circumstances, a quiet act of defiance. It is a secret sanctuary where the chains cannot reach, a profound philosophical reflection on the enduring human need for dignity and self-determination, even when all external signs point to utter despair. A chilling reflection on resilience. You close your eyes, the images of the day swirling behind them, the fleeting joy of the freedman, the bitter taste of your own unlikelihood, the endless, grinding toil that stretches before you like an unmapped desert. The sounds of the villa fade, replaced by the rhythmic thud of your own heartbeat, a steady, insistent drum against the silence. There's no soft pillow, no comforting blanket, just the rough straw beneath your head and the cold, hard reality of your life. But even here, in this desolate space, that tiny ember of hope, however faint, continues to glow. A silent promise that even in the deepest night, the dawn will eventually break, bringing with it the possibility, however slim, of a different tomorrow, a quiet triumph of the human spirit. As the sun finally dips below the horizon, painting the Roman sky in hues of bruised purple and fading orange, you return to your cramped, reeking quarters. The day's relentless toil etched deep into your weary bones. The air inside is thick with the familiar scent of unwashed bodies and stale sweat, a constant, suffocating reminder of your shared, brutal existence. You navigate the dim space, stepping carefully over the rough straw mats where other enslaved souls already lie, their quiet breathing a low, mournful symphony in the encroaching darkness. Another day has been survived, a small, hard-won victory in a life defined by endless struggle and profound uncertainty, a quiet triumph of endurance. You close your eyes, but the images of the day swirl relentlessly behind them, a vivid, unbidden tapestry of fear, exhaustion, and the small, hidden acts of defiance that punctuate your existence. There is the sheer, unyielding struggle for survival, a constant battle against hunger, pain, and the ever-present threat of the whip. Each moment a testament to your stubborn will to simply endure. You grapple with the complete lack of control over your own life. Every decision, every movement dictated by the arbitrary whims of another, leaving you with a gnawing hunger for freedom, for dignity, for even a fleeting moment of true peace. A profound philosophical reflection. The daily life of a Roman slave, you reflect, was a relentless cycle of labor, a profound absence of personal autonomy, and a constant vulnerability to the unpredictable moods of your owners, making mere survival a daily triumph. Your body, a map of old scars and fresh aches, protests with every shift, a phantom sting of the whip still burning across your back, a constant throbbing reminder of lessons learned in pain. The profound exhaustion settles over you like a heavy shroud, pulling you towards the rough straw, promising a brief, temporary escape from the harsh realities of your waking hours, a quiet surrender to sleep. You realize with a wry internal chuckle that Netflix and chill was definitely not on the Roman slaves' to-do list, nor was a leisurely brunch or a weekend getaway to the coast. There were no ergonomic chairs, no paid time off, no concept of work-life balance. Just the relentless grinding rhythm of labor from dawn until dusk, and often long into the night. The idea of a personal day or a mental health break would be met with a blank stare, or more likely, a swift and brutal punishment. A stark contrast to the modern world's gentle considerations, a chilling reflection on human rights. And then, slowly, gently, the harsh images of ancient Rome begin to fade, receding like a distant tide, replaced by a profound sense of calm and the soft, rhythmic sound of water lapping against the canal banks. The acrid smells of fear and sweat dissipate, leaving only the clean, cool scent of evening air, mingling with the damp earth and the faint, sweet aroma of distant cooking fires. You feel the solid, familiar stone beneath your hand, cool and smooth, as you secure the gatehouse for the night, the heavy wooden beam sliding into place with a satisfying thud, a comforting sound in the quiet evening. The oiled gears of the lock mechanism give a final soft sigh, a contented whisper in the quiet evening as the last barge passes through, its low murmurs fading into the tranquil distance. You step inside the small, cozy gatehouse, the warmth of the small fire a welcome embrace against the cool night air, chasing away the lingering chill from the stone. The kettle sings softly on the coals, a gentle, comforting melody that fills the small space, promising a moment of quiet respite and warmth, a peaceful end to the day. You watch the moon rise, a perfect silver coin in the inky sky, casting a shimmering, ethereal path across the still, dark water of the canal, a beacon of peace in the vast expanse of the night. The world outside is quiet now, peaceful, a gentle hum of insects and the rustle of leaves, the only sounds breaking the profound silence, a stark contrast to the cacophony of your day. The weight of ancient Rome lifts, replaced by the comforting familiarity of your own time, your own space, your own profound freedom, a quiet blessing. Here's the kicker. That profound freedom you now feel isn't just an absence of chains. It's the presence of choice, of agency, of a future you can actually shape. You can decide what to eat, where to sleep, even what to dream. Luxuries utterly unimaginable to the souls you just walked alongside. The good news? You're not waking up to the clang of the overseer's bell. The bad news? You still have to set your own alarm. A minor inconvenience compared to the brutal realities of ancient servitude. A humorous reflection on modern life. Consider the simple act of turning on a light, or pouring a glass of clean, cold water from a tap. These are miracles, small acts of magic that would have been beyond the wildest fantasies of a Roman slave, who knew only the flickering flame of an oil lamp. And the arduous trek to a communal well, your soft mattress, your climate-controlled room, the quiet hum of your refrigerator, each a testament to a world built on comforts they could never have conceived. A profound reflection on gratitude. This isn't just about physical ease. It's about the quiet dignity of self-possession, the profound peace that comes from knowing your body and your time are your own. You are not property. You are a person, with rights and a voice. A concept that would have been revolutionary, even dangerous in the world you just left behind. Let that realization settle deep within you, a warm, comforting weight against the echoes of ancient suffering, a profound sense of gratitude for your own hard-won freedom. So tonight, when you slip into your clean bed, under your soft blankets, in your safe, warm home, remember the journey you've taken, the brutal realities you've witnessed, and the hidden rebellions of the human spirit. Remember the sheer will to survive against impossible odds, the quiet dignity found even in the darkest corners of history. And as the moon watches over you, let the gentle lapping of the canal water carry you into a deep, grateful sleep, a profound comfort washing over you. There is no whip here, no gnawing hunger, no suffocating fear, just the quiet hum of the night and the immeasurable, precious comfort of your own hard-won freedom.